Warning, this show contains seasonal rants and an increasingly inebriated host.
Greetings, my friend.
Goodbye, honey.
Okay. Where's your safety gear?
Mommy, I'm cold.
I said put on your safety gear.
Silence, both of you.
The result will astound those watching, because all you of Earth are idiots.
You think we're doing something wrong?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of
Monochrome-1.
Shall we talk now or wait?
Proceed.
Good evening! Ha ha ha!
Yes, how cool to meet you all.
Welcome to Monochrome-1, the talk show from outer space, for some reason.
Out of space in a graveyard.
Hello everyone, this is Monochrome-1, as you guessed by the intro. I am DLD, the spaceman, and with me today is...
The Tomekeeper. And Matthew.
Well, glad to have you both on tonight.
Yes, it is rather cool, isn't it?
Get your hand off me.
You have quite bone to pick with me, don't you, Malky? That's it, I'm done.
So as you all guessed, it's Halloween! Okay, not really. We're actually recording this a few days before Halloween, and by the time you'll hear this, it's probably going to be a couple of days after Halloween.
Red debit.
So we're kind of like right in the middle.
And I don't know if you can edit this out, but welcome to episode 1, which is actually episode 5.
Yeah, that's another thing. Chances are, if you're listening to this, it might be our milestone first episode transmitted on skywave.net.
Oh yeah, wrong one.
That's if it's been put up by now. If not, I'm going to have to find our producer, pin him down, and make him call me Daddy.
Again.
Hello, Skywave. Hello, you fine listeners out there. You already know my associate. He is kind of king of the show, which is on after this at 9 o'clock. But for this hour, he's my bitch.
Hello.
Quickly explain the gist of the show for those of you who are new. We're just simply a talk show. We have no specific topic. We talk about a lot of geeky things and horror films mainly, but...
You mean we're not talking about football?
Yeah, or, Kamen Rider or Titanic, like the insane story that was episode 3, I believe.
Or episode -3. Yeah.
Episode -3, yes. If you're counting this as episode 1, first one transmitted. It is Halloween.
And isn't it a grand old time?
It is, and I tell you what, I was on Earth earlier today, doing my Earth job, and the journey back, it had just the most perfect autumn weather you could think of. It was a really clear sky, orange sunset going down in the distance, and there was just that sweet autumn chill in the air. It was just really atmospheric.
Oh, I do enjoy the autumn air.
That's good for atmosphere, but not so good for Leroy, which is my earth transportation, which is my moped, because when it starts freezing over, I'm going to have to start using Ye Olde public transport, so I don't go flying into any rivers or, meteorites.
Oh, well, your space moped, that can also be a moped.
Yeah, let's just forget the logistics of that.
Yeah. I went cross-eyed.
So, in case you haven't guessed, I have been, as the old Brad Westmore show used to say, I've been at batting practice, which means I've been drinking before this shows came on.
Oh, no, I wish I had been. I'll just pretend. You friggin' Raji.
Come here, man. I'm northern and I'm drunk, and it really comes out when I've been drinking or in the south. Or the extreme north, in my experience.
Get away, will ye? We talking about?
Oh, so how you doing, dude?
I'm alright. I was also at my Earth job, very briefly. It was a tad dull. I did ask if we could go in garb, as I'm working Halloween.
Yeah?
And no, sadly not.
That's the thing, I was going to ask my workplace as well, because we have done it previous years, though not everyone's gotten involved. Whether or not they're going to allow that depends whether or not I'm going to go there on Halloween, because I am off on Halloween, it's just I'm doing things during the day. But if they were doing costumes for, fundraising or something, I'll go there in the morning first. That's what I did last year.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I don't know if they are or not, or, even if they just put on witches' hats or something, that would be pretty cool.
Something, acknowledge that it exists, because there's a lot of Halloween hate out there.
Well, considering, we're struggling to get Halloween acknowledged, yet we have fucking Christmas decorations up on the shop floor.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I keep telling people, like, as a joke, they'll come up with their baubles or whatever, and I'll be like, "Oh, is this for Halloween?" And they'll look at me like confused. They'll look at me like, "Oh no, I hate Halloween, but I love Christmas."
How can you hate Halloween? There's a fella at my Earth job. I've mentioned him before anyway, but he said just the other day, because I actually decorated up the place a little bit just for Halloween, you know, put out some stuff, put out some candy, just, you know, get people's spirit, and quite a few people bringing candy isn't at work anyway, and it's cool.
Yeah.
He said he hates Halloween, and I think he said because he's scared of it.
Oh. Okay, well, that's fair enough, but I mean, like, if that's a genuine thing.
Yeah.
But people will just outright hate, "Oh, it's too commercial, it's too American, it's probably
As opposed to Christmas!
Exactly. It's the least American thing there is. I mean, the Americans know how to enjoy it. If you want to call it an American thing, by all means, because they enjoy it way more than the holiday's origin country does. Like, come on. It's the oldest tradition we have, yet nobody cares anymore. I'm trying not to swear.
I was having a conversation. Yeah, I shouldn't swear either, but as I've been at the wine a little bit, and
we're on a bit later, so fuck you.
Yeah. Singing a resounding chorus of My Cock Rages On, like I do when I'm on drinking wine.
Very nice.
Oh, incoming transmission. I think we can ignore that. Wow, what's weird there is it wasn't even coming through with my main speakers, it was coming through my stylophone, which I've left on.
Oh, weird. Oh, hang on, I'll just get my phone.
Your phone?
No, that was, in reference to the style.
Oh, that was dreadful.
You just died laughing. Where's your funny bone?
Yeah, but we're talking about the commercialization just there. Again, I had a conversation with one of my managers at work, well, Earth job anyway, and he said he likes Halloween, but he dislikes the kind of American commercialization of it.
And what's he in reference to there? Because
I think he's in reference to, you know, sort of the slutty costumes and the going out and getting drunk in the costumes, that kind of thing, not necessarily the spookiness.
Very traditional thing to do. I mean, all you fine ladies out there who want to dress like that and want to do all that, we used to do that originally anyway. It was a festival, it was a party. That's exactly what you would do.
Especially
if you wanted to meet a man, that's where you'd go.
Yeah, especially between adults, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Like village elders and and people looking for, you know, good time.
Yeah. I hate is when people say, I don't like it, it's too commercial, people going out and getting candy. No, that's a very old tradition.
Yeah.
Very old. I mean, the origin...
even if the candy at the time was apples.
Yeah, well, it was the end of season. You weren't so much begging for candy as saying, you're not going on a door saying, are you going to the festival? Do you need a hand carrying your crops?
Yeah.
Basically. Because everyone in that town would eat those crops. It's a very, very old tradition, and it annoys me when people say, oh, it's too commercialized now. No, it's a bastardized version of its original purpose, really.
Yeah, you know, unlike every other holiday we have, you know, with presents and Easter eggs and fireworks, the like.
Oh, yes, those chocolate bunnies that we have on Easter to represent the death of Christ. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Bill Hicks said it best. Celebrate the birth and resurrection of our Lord by telling our children, a giant bunny rabbit left chocolate eggs in the night.
Is that what he goes on to say? I read the Bible.
I don't see chocolate or bunnies in it anywhere. I wonder why we're f***ed up as a race.
Oh, Bill Hicks.
My manager was telling me that he doesn't like that kind of Americanization of Halloween. I actually don't mind it, and partly is because I kind of like the party atmosphere surrounded for Halloween for a change instead of the other holidays. And again, you know, dressing up and being commercial is, in some ways, better than being forgotten about.
Yeah, at least, I mean, well, what's going to happen? I mean, this is a tradition that dates back way beyond, like, 2,000 years is the benchmark for Jesus Christ. This went on nearly 4,000 years before.
Yeah.
So, right, it's going to have changed. I mean, the Romans invaded, it became a food festival. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the god's name, but she was like the god of wine.
Was that a British goddess? Because one of the Roman gods who is associated with wine is Bacchus. He's associated with wine and festivities, and funny enough, I actually have a statue of him. Don't know why.
Well, yeah, I think the Romans brought that, which is why a lot of people will just feast on Halloween.
Yeah.
That happened for a while, yeah. Another thing that really gets me is I don't like it when people dress up, especially children. That's very commercial. It's very again, that was very, very old as well.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that's modern, because since Halloween began, people were doing that.
I've got like younger generations of family now they're coming up to their teens now, and they're not dressed, they don't want to dress up as much, which, yeah, I get because you're growing up and you don't want the childishness, but at the same time, it's kind of sad, because I think it's always a good excuse just to dress up and kind of be a fun idiot, and that's what I do kind of like about the commercialization of Halloween. It's okay to look like a tool.
To have fun.
As long as you're having fun.
It's not hurting anyone doing what you're doing. Then do it.
Yeah, and, we're both Halloween guys, and one of the other reasons I really love the holiday is it's like the most unique holiday because of that. All the other religious holidays we have are kind of the same. Even Easter, people give presents at Easter now as if it was a second Christmas.
Oh yeah, I know.
Which, some members of my family do that, not all of them, but I guess it's a nice thought, but the way I think it's really strange, 'cause it's like, why?
Yeah.
Again, I like Halloween because it's unique and it has its own tradition to it, and I don't know, it's a really cool thing.
In fairness, it's pretty unique, but there are 4 solstices in the year.
Oh yeah.
One for each. Yeah, as you know, we both did archaeology. Yeah, this one's just the autumn one, and autumn happens to be my most favourite season, or fall for you American listeners out there, and it's probably the most relevant one because it was kind of the Celtic New Year as well.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Because spring can kind of bleed into summer pretty easily, but to borrow a phrase from Game of Thrones, winter is coming, and when like the mood changes, you get that chill in the air, and the leaves begin to turn, and transformation of that the whole place itself.
When everything just starts dying, and it's great.
Yes, but don't think of things dying as a sad thing. It's just transition from one state to the next.
Of course. All these things come back. If it didn't do it, it would die outright.
Oh, yeah.
No, I do love Halloween. Where the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest. To get back to the dressing up on Halloween, well, one of its origins, if you don't mind me going on a little bit.
No, go ahead.
Was that, and this is again why there's a lot of supernatural element to Halloween, the veil between the living and the dead was its thinnest, so spirits would wander the earth. Now, you didn't want the spirits to take the stuff in your house, but you also wanted to go out and have a bit of a party. So, because these spirits were mischievous, so you would wear a disguise, and usually quite horrific, to scare away, leave the house, and they would believe that the house was still occupied by the owner, and that this other, more gruesome spirit has just left, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so would leave you alone, and you could go out and have fun at this festival. So don't go around telling me that dressing up on Halloween is really, really goofy and nobody did it in the olden days, because they did. It's only now that we don't do it, because people suck.
Okay, dressing up has been sort of a thing from the olden days. I mean, there's a bit more of a slutification, can I say, with some people now.
Yeah.
But that's just if they choose to do it, I guess. It's not like, it makes an interesting festival atmosphere, I guess.
Party atmosphere.
I'm a guy who doesn't, go out that much to go to parties, so, I appreciate it.
Well, this is it. I don't party for party's sake. You've got people who will go out every weekend or every night sometimes.
I'm not going to win any fans right here, but people who live purely for the weekend, their entire life revolves around their weekend, and all they ever do with their paycheck and their time is get drunk and go to the clubs, are amongst the most boring fucking people I know.
Yeah, each to their own, by the way, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I don't mean to offend it, but no.
I'm inclined to agree. If that's all you're living for, please.
Okay, guys.
Get a hobby.
If you're all like that, honestly, I'm not shitting on you. I'm just giving my perspective. No, you're probably not boring. It's just, I personally don't have interest in that scene, so...
Yeah.
When people try and drag me places and tell me, I'm being boring, and, why aren't I wanting to go out like that, it's just not my thing, and it would be really nice if people in some of larger society can just fucking accept that.
Apologise for you there a little bit, when I probably shouldn't have, because people are very, very quick to shit on you for saying you don't like that culture.
Yeah.
Yet you can't shit on them for that.
At the same time, it is their thing. It's just, maybe I'm not into that. Why don't you just accept that? Maybe I don't want to blow my entire wage on a single night. I won't remember and will make me physically ill the next day.
Yeah, once in a while, that's kind of fun. But
yeah, once in a while. But again, people who just seem to do that all the time, and I know people, I have friends, I have work colleagues, it's just, wow, do you do nothing else with your time?
But I mean, these are the same people as well that, I don't know if you remember a couple of Halloweens ago, we were all dressed up. And we're walking around trying to just have a bit of a laugh, and it was a weekday. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Wednesday, so 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And people actually came up to us and said, "How old are you?"
Yeah.
These are the same people that now on a Friday night, because it's a Friday night, will be out dressed up because it's a big excuse to just go out and do what they do every Friday night anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's not be Debbie Downers against this. Let's just stick with the love.
No. This is no. Okay.
Don't make me get out the whip again.
Oh, please do.
Otherwise, we'll have another Kamen Rider Titanic episode. We are not mentioning either of those things again tonight.
What, Kamen Rider?
Or the other thing.
Football. We go on about football so much.
Oh, no, come on. I don't want to lose too many fans this night. Let's just stay off the sports.
I'll be fair, though. The States know how to celebrate. In fact, apparently Los Angeles has the world's largest Halloween street party, which I'd love to go to one year.
You have been to a street party before?
Never.
I've been to two. They were both New Year, and they were both in Edinburgh, where they actually section off an entire area of street. Again, I'm not a big getting drunk and going out guy, but that's a f***ing experience, man.
Yeah, man.
When you're just with so many people, you're allowed to bring your drink in, it's just, okay, the alcohol probably has the effect here, but it's like the world itself seems like a magical, crazy place, and it's just such an atmosphere. It's really cool, and that's...
It's being part of a group that's of the same mindset. That's why I like Halloween so much.
And conventions?
And conventions, yeah. Same thing. I mean, I will, if I can, I'll do the same thing with conventions. I'll dress up.
Yeah.
Because I like being part of that culture.
Like, again, we've got one coming up very soon. In fact, by the time you guys hear this episode, it would have already happened, and we'll talk about it later. But another convention coming on, a horror screen and TV convention, film convention.
Should be good.
It should be good. There's a few guests there. One or two people I might see, but no one in particular I want to see necessarily. But one of the main reasons is, again, just being in a good atmosphere with like-minded people.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a shared interest, and everyone who's there is there for pretty much the same reason. It's because they like this thing. So it's a good, cordial atmosphere.
Definitely, yeah. And I'll be in costume.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'm going as Snake Plissken from Escape from New York.
Awesome.
For both Halloween, yeah. For both Halloween and the convention, which is the next day.
Well, that's the thing. If any of you guys heard one of our previous episodes, I talked about my potential Halloween costume I was going to do. That idea has now been abandoned. So I may as well tell you, I was originally going to go to the convention and Halloween as Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2. If you know the character I'm on about, you'll probably remember what the head looks like.
Right, a pyramid.
Yeah, kind of a pyramid, but not like a straight pyramid. It's got its own unique sort of angles and the ways it's put together.
Yeah.
And that just became a bit of a headache. Plus the convention place we're going to as well, I've heard it's quite crowded. I've not been to it before, you have?
I have, it is. You couldn't move.
I'm going to go for something a bit smaller. I've decided to go as Scarecrow from Batman. So I've been kind of busy working on a costume during my free periods, and...
Oh, I still maintain that one day, because you should keep this costume. From what I've seen, it's very good. Yeah, I just think it would be great to go as like a bunch of Batman villains at a con one day. Apparently I have the face for the Joker, so...
You definitely have the temperament.
What do you mean?
No way! I have not just drunk an entire bottle of wine.
What, just there? Just right now?
Minus this glass I've just poured. I only bought this
bastard.
thing. Damn.
This glass is actually going to be like an entire bottle's worth, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those novelty giant glasses.
We sell those. I was kind of going to get one. I'll have a pint of whiskey, please.
For me? I'm not an alcoholic. No kidding, some members of my family think I have an alcohol problem because...
You keep drinking out of your ear.
Well, it's like when I keep... Like, when I take the bottles downstairs, there's usually, 6 liquor bottles that I put in the glass bin.
Oh.
Or, like, when I was on Earth and had family around the other day, they were in my bedroom for a bit. So, I was playing on games and stuff. And, like, they found something like 5 or 6 empty alcohol bottles lying around, and they think I have a problem.
No.
I honestly don't. It's just, I don't throw my garbage away straight away.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, those 6 bottles have been collecting for, like, a couple of months, because... it's a glass bin, so I don't, just throw them away as I go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so members of my family think I have a problem. I don't, seriously. I can quit whenever I want. I just don't want to.
Just not right now. Maybe after this glass.
Oh, 2 or, a couple of bottles.
Also, let's get hammered on Halloween.
Oh, yeah. I was considering saving half a bottle of wine for Halloween, but considering the remainders in my glass right now, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh yes. Well, tomorrow I've already. We're bound to go on about pumpkin.
Oh, I'm getting mine tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get a ton tomorrow, and also a swede.
Well,
and maybe some apples, just for smaller lanterns.
I know, I usually do the apple thing just because, well, swedes and pumpkins tend to sell out by the time I get around to buying them, the day before Halloween.
Yeah.
So I usually do the apple thing and just, hollow it out and stick a little tea light in, and there's a delicious smell of cooked apple. It's delicious.
Oh, yeah. There is nothing better, this is to all of you out there, than the smell of turnip with it. Seriously, that is the best.
Turnip's a funny thing as well, because cooked turnip, I actually am not fussed on at all. Yeah. I can eat raw turnip.
Oh, I love turnip just in any shape and form, really.
Yeah, but yeah, the smell of it's really good. Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a pumpkin again. I'm going to try and get other people involved. I might take the pumpkin to work or somewhere else. Get it carved out for like decoration. At home, I think I'll use the turnip because it's kind of like more of a traditional English thing anyway.
It is.
Well,
it's very
British Isles thing because Ireland, Wales, and that as well.
Yeah. Well, the origins were Ireland, so
yeah, that's true. But yeah, they had turnips. They didn't have pumpkins because I believe pumpkins are a New World thing.
They are. Yeah. We didn't get them till much later. If you want to say anything is Americanized, it's the pumpkin, pretty much.
But pumpkins are awesome.
They're so much easier to use. Like, honestly, had the Celts and the Druids had those, they would have used them anyway, so I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a snob when it comes to traditionalism and all that stuff, unless it comes to Halloween and people bidding on it. It's like, look,
the funnest holiday of all. Not to harp on too much, but if you're whining about commercialism, what the hell do you think Christmas is? That is almost nothing but a commercial holiday now.
Yeah,
it's all about buy me it.
Pretty much. Goodwill to men, nah, just a new PlayStation 4.
Do you know what, honestly, I'm not a massively religious person, but if you honestly do treat Christmas as a solemn and religious festivity, that's completely fine with me.
Oh no, I totally get it then, even.
But if you're just purely about the presents, that's just not a good message to send out.
It's not a good message to send out, but let's just say, if that's all you're doing with it, and you know that, fair enough. Don't go around saying that you're great because you celebrate Christmas. It annoys me, like, if you want to be all commercial and stuff at Christmas, then great, but don't shit on Halloween for being commercial. Like,
again, Halloween's just fun!
Yeah, we don't buy each other presents on Halloween, it's not about getting the latest consoles, there's no wars going on, it's great.
There's no Black Friday where people stomp themselves to death.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe that was a thing, man.
Still is, every year. Black Friday was even a thing at the place I work at, like my Earth job. Wow. We had people queuing up for the place to open to, I think it was to get a PS4 or an Xbox.
That's quite scary. So there's some Americanization for you. Christmas.
Yeah, Black Friday is something we imported as well.
Because apparently to like Halloween is childish, but to like getting each other presents and toys and stuff is totally adult.
I don't really hate Christmas, it's just kind of funny, like the perception of Christmas versus Halloween. Halloween, it does have a special place in my heart. There was quite a while in my life where I didn't celebrate it as much, but I was always kind of aware of it. It's like in recent years I wanted to sort of pick it up and celebrate a bit more again, which is, why I go out with you and other people, and I go to these conventions now that I want to go to, just to sort of celebrate stuff a bit more.
Yeah.
One of my earliest memories as well is kind of Halloween-centered, because my mother used to work in a nursing home.
Alright, yeah.
I don't remember an awful lot from my very early childhood, but I do remember I used to visit her a lot there. But I remember there was like a Halloween disco, I think, and you had like glow-in-the-dark, pumpkin decorations and that on the wall, and that's just an image that also kind of sticks in my mind, and again, it's a really early memory for me, so I do kind of appreciate it for that.
Oh, I've always had this strange thing, and it's going to sound funny to anyone, because I don't believe many supernatural things, but I've always had this thing that I reckon something very relevant is going to happen to myself personally on Halloween, and I don't know what that is yet. Like, maybe I'm going to die on Halloween one year, or, something very, very relevant, though.
That's really weird, because I once had, like, a premonition I killed someone on Halloween.
Oh, it might be me. Dude, let's combine. Oh. But no, like, to get back to the jack-o'-lantern and that as well, that had a lot of origins with spirits as well. So when a lot of people say, I don't know why it's got to be horror-based and all that sort of thing, well, that's why it was invented, really.
Yeah, people back then were superstitious.
Well, insanely superstitious, yeah.
Superstition's another funny thing, because I know a guy who really hates religion, he bashes it all the time, yet he'll salute magpies because of the superstition. I didn't say this to him because I'm trying not to be a dick, but I'm like, how do you rationalise that in your brain? Seriously?
That's a funny one, like.
If anything, I'm agnostic. I don't necessarily disbelieve, it's just I like having proof for things, or I like to question things a bit.
Yeah.
So if you believe, or if you don't, you're fine by me.
Yeah.
It's just, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. I never got the saluting magpie thing, because when I was a kid, we always did the rhyme. What was it? Something stupid like 1 for sorrow, so like bad luck. 2 for joy, so good luck. I think 3 was a girl, 4 was a boy. Commercialization of Halloween. If they didn't do that, then you wouldn't have such great things. Like, how many great films have come out because of Halloween, or how many great games, or just like things in the media in general have come about because of Halloween.
No, I might have to ask you this, Duke, because I don't know how much television you watch. I actually don't watch an awful lot of it these days. If I watch series, it tends to be like catch-up online.
Yeah.
But is there much Halloween stuff kind of on around Halloween anymore? Not to my knowledge.
I don't watch much TV myself.
At least not in this country.
Yeah, no, like I said, I don't really watch much TV myself anymore, but every time I'm on, I will outwardly look for Halloween things, and I can't ever find any. Like, ever. I have to outright look, like, if you use the catch-up feature on you're using, maybe there might be something. But
I do remember, I think last year, I don't think it was Halloween, I think it was somewhere in autumn. The only thing I really saw is one of the public channels was showing Night of the Living Dead because, you know, it's a public domain film, so they're allowed to show it. And that was pretty cool. And it's like, I know America, I don't know if they do as much now, but I know places in America they used to do a lot of horror films and the horror hosts. You know, like Elvira and that.
Oh yeah, and what's his name? Dr. Demento.
Yeah, there was tons of them. Do they do that anymore?
The Sci-Fi Channel had it in the 90s. I don't know if
do it so much now. I mean,
I know the Horror Channel used to have a spokeswoman, but she's like year round. She's not just. Mm-hmm. And she's not all that cool, to be honest with you.
No, like seriously, audience, if you know of any. Feel free to get in touch with us at any point. My email is talkmonochrome1@yahoo.com. And
if you ever want to contact myself at the Asylum, which is the name of my show, to follow, just contact hfm.matthew@live.com.
Sorry for that little plug, but I'm honestly wanting to get the audience involved here, and I'm just curious to ask, you know, what do you guys think? Like, do you sort of see much Halloween stuff going on? Is much Halloween stuff on TV as you remember as a kid? You know, do you guys do anything for Halloween, or you just think it's a childish thing? Either way, you know, whatever your opinion, just, like, get in touch and let us know.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear you.
Oh, it's always lovely to hear you guys. I'm assuming, considering this is the first episode of our show.
Without Halloween, I think we'd be without some of the greatest things in media. I mean, myself being heavily into media, what with having a degree and so forth, and trying to actually make it there.
Promotion!
Right, there we go.
Self-promotion.
Give me a job in media. No, but yeah, one of my most favourite films of all time, and a lot of film scholars will agree, is Halloween.
One of the best slasher films ever made, if not the best.
It was the archetype. It was it was the first, technically. I mean, there was Fright, which Carpenter outright said he based a lot of it on, which is an English film. It's really good as well. It's the first art house film to have ever made more money than any other Hollywood movie ever, and I think the only thing that ever beat it was the Blair Witch Project, which is a crime.
Man, do you remember the hype that went around Blair Witch?
Yeah, it was a media marketing. It was genius in the way it did it, but it was
but talk about the separation between hype and expectation and reality. It was a little while before I saw that, and I was so bored. Yeah,
I do appreciate the marketing. Like, it was clever.
Yeah,
but it's a gimmick, right?
I do kind of appreciate the film itself. It's just because that became so popular, it's an awful lot of copycats came up because of that, and
they're still going on.
I know, now we're full of this crap.
Yeah, it's because of that we had things like Cloverfield and the sort.
Yeah, which I've actually not seen. Some people said that's all right.
It's crap. Take it from a kaiju enthusiast. That was my rant about Cloverfield. That's it.
I was gonna think of some retort, but I'm tipsy.
No, that's all I have to say about Cloverfield. Don't bother.
No, like, as I was saying, I was talking about television just before, and one of the reasons I bring that up is that recently, just to sort of get me into the Halloween mood a bit more, I've been watching some of the old Halloween specials on YouTube.
Oh, nice. As you were doing that, did you come across the Garden Garfield one, Garfield in Disguise.
Did, but I recently watched something about that anyway, so I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, it's the best one.
That's a cool one. But I have to tell you, Matt, this morning I watched one of the Paul Lynde Halloween specials. You do a much better impersonation than I do, I'm afraid.
Oh, I actually have that. We know Michael Aronson, who's the professional Paul Lynde. He does his impression probably better than anyone ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gave us the Halloween special. It was the one you've seen with Kiss.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. Where he says a terrible joke, was it? I know how you got the name for your band. Your mama said, I want you boys to kiss and make up.
Oh, so cheesy.
Oh, I love Paul Lynde.
I just watched that this morning. I also watched one of the Muppets specials, because they did a few as well, and those are great. I've not really seen anything Muppets related in years, considering they've done new films recently as well, and I forget how good, like, the Jim Henson workshop was, and...
Oh, yeah.
Like, not even just on the technical level, like, the script as well, the show was quite funny.
It is, yeah. Seriously, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but you watch the original Peanuts, Halloween. That is just Halloween personified.
That's the next, with a Great Pumpkin, that's the next thing I intend to watch.
That one, we watched that. I watched that this morning, actually. We watch it every year for Halloween. We have to do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who was on there? The Muppets one I watched today, Alice Cooper was the guest.
Oh, wow. Very nice. I love Alice Cooper as well. He's a good sport.
Do you know what? He's a good sport, and he did, like, some songs and some singing in it, and just reminded me of, like, damn, maybe I should listen to his stuff a bit more.
Oh, I love Alice Cooper. He's great.
He's great, but he's one of those guys who I kind of appreciate for, music history and that, but not one of those I've really listened to that much.
Right, yeah.
But no, he was awesome. The other Muppets episode I watched recently was with Vincent Price, and he was fantastic. He was totally down for, like, all the humour and everything they were doing.
Oh, he's really game. He's in a bunch of B-movies, like, just doing stupid stuff. Oh, yeah, he loves it. He's got another good voice as well.
And again, if any of you guys out there want to check out any of this stuff, it's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know the legal licensing for those things being on YouTube, but, what the
if they're
hell
on there, you might as well watch them.
Yeah, because, a lot of it is stuff we won't see on TV now anyway, so...
It's a shame that, that Garfield in Disguise, I tried looking it up last year, and I couldn't find it, so is it on in full now?
No, it is. So I did catch kind of the beginning of it this morning, but I ended up watching other stuff instead.
Oh, man. I hope I didn't ruin that for you.
Oh, no, it's just I had seen some of the Garfield... I'd seen a lot of the clips from it already, so I thought, while I was doing stuff, I may as well put on something I haven't seen, so I watched the Muppet special.
I love that it parodies the fog.
Yeah.
Like, what child is going to... I mean, I hope, because I did when I was a kid, but I hope there are children out there who are like, yes, Garfield does the fog. That is perfect.
I don't know if TV does it as much these days. I think they do sometimes, but again, I don't watch a lot of TV, especially kids' TV. Yeah. But I remember watching on YouTube again an old thing from Sesame Street. I think it was Sesame Street. And they did a parody of Twin Peaks.
Wow.
That is so weird.
That is so weird.
It was called Twin Beaks. Like, wow. It was a town popular with birds with, like, two beaks, and it had, like, the weird music and some of the tropes from the series on. It's like, what kids would have got this back in the day?
That's
cool
a little
kids.
reference for the parents, I think.
Or the really cool kids. Like us, who used to watch, Halloween and the Alien movies when we were, 5.
Yeah. Oh, I think I told you that, didn't I? Halloween was what they used to put on for me when I was, like, pre-1, for to get me asleep.
And that's why you're such a well-adjusted adult this day.
I'll kill you! I mean, what? Yeah.
Talking about Halloween before, like the John Carpenter film, that's kind of a staple as well. That's something I like to watch around Halloween.
Yeah, oh no, I watch it every year. I like all of them though, except the, I actually do watch the remakes, but it's usually like July, just to tide me over a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're crap.
But I heard about them, the infamy about them, but it wasn't until you ruined me them that I actually saw them for myself.
Yeah.
And I think I watched them both over a weekend, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. There is one worse though, and that's the one they did just before the remake.
Yeah.
Which was the one where it's set, and this is thanks to Blair Witch again, where it's set in the Myers house, but it's done as like a
like a reality TV thing.
That's the one I just don't watch it. I've got it. I just don't watch it every year.
I watched H2O. A lot of people crap on that one. I thought it was passable.
It's good, but I think why a lot of people crap on it is because it ruins the part 4 and 5.
Yeah.
You have to disregard them to be able to enjoy that one a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I probably just liked it because Jamie Lee Curtis was back, and she's awesome.
Definitely. Not a lot of people actually know this, but she's the daughter of Janet Leigh, which you'd think they would know this, who was in Psycho.
Alright, I did know that. I've heard that before, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, two arcanic?
Yeah.
Two iconic females from horror.
Yeah, they also played side by side in H2O. She plays the old woman, I think she's the receptionist, Janet Leigh, to last ever film.
Alright, I didn't actually know that.
You hear the Psycho theme very, very briefly, but they're both also in The Fog, but they don't like exchange any dialogue. Another thing that a lot of people don't realise as well, that the name Sam Loomis, as in Dr. Loomis, was first taken from the movie Psycho. That's the boyfriend's name of Janet Leigh's character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not a lot of people know that. And Christopher Lee was down for Dr. Loomis. I didn't. I know everything there is to know about Halloween the movie, and I'm seeing someone at the moment. She told me something I didn't know.
Yeah.
She read an interview with Christopher Lee. Apparently that was his biggest regret.
That's interesting, but at the same time, I kind of love Donald Pleasence as an actor, and...
Oh, so do I.
His Loomis is he's one of the best things about that series when he's in it.
By far. If Lee had done it, and I love Lee, I really do.
Yeah.
There may not have been a sequel.
Yeah, it probably would have been a bit distracting, because you're thinking, oh, it's the Dracula guy.
Yeah, Dracula's fighting Michael Myers. Also, he's probably taller than Michael Myers.
Like, Pleasance was by no means an unknown actor, but it's not as distracting having him in that role, and I've seen him in quite a few things. He's a great actor, and I think he really sort of sells the earnestness of the character.
In fact, when I see Donald Pleasence in anything else, I think immediately of Dr. Loomis. Now, I recently saw, even though I'm going as Snake Plissken, I recently saw Escape from New York. Yeah. And he plays the president in it. Yeah. Which I think is great, because it's President Dr. Loomis is being kidnapped. It's just a lot of fun to me, that, for some reason.
Well, he was also one of the Bond villains.
That's right, yeah.
He was Blofeld in You Only Live Twice.
That's right.
And he was one of the escapees in The Great Escape.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
No, that's one of the other things I kind of recognise him mainly from, because, well, I really like that film as well, and I've got it.
I've never seen that.
And I used to be big into the Bond movies as well, so I do recognise him from that too.
Again, I've only ever seen some of the more modern Bonds. Not because I don't like them or anything, I've never seen them.
No, I've seen almost all of them. I haven't seen the two most recent ones.
Oh, right. I was going to say I liked Skyfall. I thought it was alright.
Apart from the two recent ones, I actually have seen all the other ones, and I was a big fan. And I do have my favourite Bond film, but it's probably an unpopular choice, so...
Oh, right. Is it? What's his name?
It's one of Timothy Dalton's, yeah. It's License to Kill.
I really like him as an actor, though.
This may be Halloween episode, but I'm going to talk about License to Kill for a moment. License to Kill is awesome because it's not about gimmicky gadgets. Okay, there is some in it, but it's a revenge story against essentially a drug cartel. And in that sense, it's probably the most realistic Bond there is. It's honestly the one which probably has the most real-world involvement in it. Like, some of the others get a bit, like, campy and sci-fi, especially when you get in the Roger Moore period, but that one's a lot more down-to-earth. I don't know, the fact that it's a 15 doesn't hurt, because most of the other Bonds aren't rated that high.
Oh, really?
And I don't know, I just kind of really dig that film, and that's the only one I own on DVD.
Oh, wow.
I do like them all, but that's the only one I own as yet, so...
That's kind of cool.
If you haven't seen License to Kill, check it out. It's a good one.
I probably will, actually.
I could lend you it.
Yeah, cool.
I've been compiling a list of films to lend you. Just to force my own tastes on you, yeah.
Have you seen Bullshit yet?
Oh, I haven't. I've got it right next to me now. I am going to watch it. You know, just with it being Halloween right now, I'm trying to watch a lot of horror films and Halloween stuff.
It's not the right mood, like, at the minute.
Yeah. After Halloween, I'll watch it.
Yeah, they get back to, like, Halloween films and that. Like, I do love the movie Halloween, as I've mentioned.
So do I,
and I never thought I'd see a film that would outdo it in terms of being Halloween-ish.
Yeah.
And then I came across Trick or Treat.
Ooh. Which
is probably the most Halloween-y film I've ever seen, and it is amazing. If you've not seen it, it is well worth checking out.
Which I haven't yet.
Oh, have you not? It is really good, and I heard, but I'm not so sure because it gets a lot of this, that they're doing another one. Halloween's really good for the media, and it doesn't get a lot for some reason.
I mean, yeah, there are horror films that's released around Halloween. We talked about them in a previous episode when I'm looking at trailers. We had things like the next Paranormal Activity movie.
Oh, I forgot to mention, actually, yesterday with my lady friend, I went to see The Babadook.
The what?
The Babadook?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it's an Australian horror film. It's actually incredibly good.
All right.
It is very spooky as well, like, it works.
This is a recent thing.
It's out now. I went to the pictures to see it yesterday.
Alright, I might have to check that out.
It's really, really good. Even if it did scare the pants off Captain Sexy Pants. Oh, she was adorable.
You can be the strong, protective type.
Oh.
You know, she's going to hear this and she's going to, like, kick both our asses next time we meet her.
Without a doubt. But no, she handled herself really well. She thought she was going to be way worse than she was.
Don't hurt me.
It is an amazing film, like, and I would highly recommend it because it's Australian, and because of that, like you said, you'd not heard of it, and I've not seen any ads for it yet. I've seen a lot for some of the other crap horrors that are out at the moment. Go figure, you know.
I've gotten some of the buzz about some of the ones we looked at the trailers for, like Ouija, and it's apparently a lot of the buzz is it's pretty bad. Shocker.
Well, that's the thing. When I went to see that, they had Ouija on.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I just know it's going to be crap. So.
I mean, the only film, like I said, we looked at I was curious about was the Town That Dreaded Sundown.
That really did look good.
And there wasn't, like I said, there was an original film to that as well, which I think I might want to check out as well.
Yeah, I'm not one for remakes. In fact, I will outwardly try to avoid them, but that one I will check out.
I don't know if it's so much a remake as a sequel, because I did look at some of the synopsis online, and it made reference to a killer decades ago, so it might actually be a sequel.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be interesting if that's the case. I said, I've not seen it, though, like the original, so I don't know if it is or not, but it's nice to see some things. Of course, the only thing I'm watching this Halloween is on my special movie night date with Captain Steampunk, if you could call it a date.
I will.
May as well. It's probably the most action I've had in about 3 years. Anyway.
I thought you were coming to that thing at Geek, actually. They're having a ball.
Are they?
I told you about it, man. They're having a costume ball thing. Yeah, that's why I was saying there might be a lot of lady folk there.
Oh, when's that?
It's 9 till 11.
On Halloween?
On Halloween, yeah.
Oh, damn, I've already bought me ticket for the other thing, and...
Yeah, it's cool, it's cool.
It'd be fun. I mean, they're showing Beetlejuice and the Lost Boys, and they're both
It's fine, because I was going to hang out with Amy, because I thought you guys were coming to that, when I really just wanted to go home. So, like, with her, I mean.
That's
like, take her to my place, because we celebrate Halloween quite well.
I'll hang around Geek some of that day as well before like the movies. So hey, if I meet any fine monstrous vixen, then. But yeah, so I'll be seeing The Lost Boys and Beetlejuice. I've not seen Beetlejuice for a while.
Again, why those two films? Why not something that was made specifically for Halloween? The rights, probably.
Oh, I don't know. They're fun films, especially Lost Boys. I own that on DVD as well, and that's. So
do I, actually.
That's a cool one to watch.
Maggots, Michael, eating maggots. Swarms.
Swarms.
He says swarms, people. Look it up.
I really dig the soundtrack as well. I was actually just listening to one of the songs from the soundtrack before I contacted you just there.
Oh, sweet.
I was also listening to the Creature Feature album. Greatest Show on Earth.
I love those guys. I've got them on my phone now, and I just, like, on the way up to work, I will listen to them non-stop.
Yeah,
they set the mood for Halloween so well.
Oh no, I've got their first album, and I was playing some games just before I was listening to the album on loud and singing along in my awful singing voice.
And I
never sung that.
Yeah, but Creature Feature should have. Yeah, that's the best thing about The Simpsons, probably, that they still do a Halloween episode. Every year, probably.
That's the thing. Simpsons or something else I've watched since pretty much my earliest memories, but I don't really keep up with it these days because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or necessarily going along with the cynical crowd, but it's not the same show it used to be.
Nah.
I kind of like that it's still going. It's not something I necessarily pay attention to, but it's like Michael Jackson being in the media. It's kind of part of my childhood, and when he's gone, it was kind of strange to think, oh shit, there's no more Michael Jackson weirdness.
Yeah, true.
In the same sense that when the Simpsons eventually finish, it'll be like, wow, it's kind of like something's missing now.
Yeah, probably. A lot of people will poop on The Simpsons still.
Yeah.
But like, especially people like Family Guy, as it were. But they are doing the same thing, and everybody still thinks whatever Seth MacFarlane does is pure gold and all that sort of thing. I don't know if I'm making much sense here, but I think Family Guy's going the same way now.
Yeah, I don't keep up with Family Guy as much as I used to, because I used to really love Family Guy right until about season 6, maybe. And
Yeah.
I will sometimes watch it if I happen to have the TV on. I don't often do, but if I do, I will watch it.
Every time there's a new one, I'll watch it because I still think the writing's a bit better
Yeah.
than The Simpsons. But they really shouldn't call anyone for that sort of thing because they're losing it as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they really call for it. There is a sort of Simpsons Family Guy feud thing in the media. But I've heard from Seth MacFarlane himself, that's kind of just both. Like, there's not really any kind of conflict between them.
Well, they're doing that crossover, aren't they?
Well, they already have done it. I didn't see it. I saw 1 or 2 clips, and it was kind of a demonstration of some of the things I didn't like about Family Guy.
Yeah.
Just the sort of really dark humour, but not being funny about it. They're just being dark and mean-spirited.
You know about the phone call thing or something, aren't you?
The rape joke, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really that funny, is it? Gonna do, though. Haters are gonna hate, aren't they?
Actually, I have a fucking issue with that word in general, because I know certain people online who talk about haters a lot, but when they say haters, it's more like, well, they're not people that just hate things, they're just people that disagree with you. There's a bit of a difference there.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm looking at my Manos the Hand of Fate staff right now.
Nice. Oh, that's right, yeah, you did Togo, didn't you?
A Togo one, yeah, talking about, classic horror movies that no one except MST fans probably know about.
Yeah.
I'm
quite impressed that you actually had someone recognise you. That was good.
That was cool. I'm very tempted to watch that as well. It's part of my Halloween movie marathon.
It's a great movie. It's so not, but it's well worth watching.
It's like Tommy Wiseau's The Room. It's interestingly bad.
You have no idea why it was made. Pretty much bad. Yeah.
If any of you guys out there want to let us know about what you guys are up to on Halloween, if anything, once again, contact me at talkmonochrome1@yahoo.com.
And my very sexy self at hfm.matthew@live.com.
Would love to hear what's going on, because don't know about you guys, but me and him, we love Halloween.
Oh, it is. I look forward to it more than my own birthday or Christmas or anything like that.
That's the thing. It's kind of funny, because my birthday, to me anyway, is sort of a non-event.
Yeah.
Because my birthday is quite close to... Well, my birthday's in December. Yeah. And I look forward to Halloween. I look forward to Christmas in a way, but it's more to what am I going to get people, and,
Yeah.
I do look forward to the atmosphere of Christmas again, because it does have a nostalgic thing for me. I'm not completely cynical.
Oh, I like Christmas, but I also...
Yeah, there are things about Christmas I like, but my birthday, on the other hand, it's what do you... I have family ask me, what do you want for your birthday, or friends say, oh, what are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, what? Oh, shit, yeah, that's coming up. I totally forget about it, because it's such a non-event.
Short of, getting a lunch with a friend or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, one of our things for a couple of years has been, getting some sushi.
Yeah, which we'd probably do every day if we could anyway, so...
Yeah, definitely. Well, vegetarian sushi for me now, because I'm a freak.
Well, do you not eat fish either?
Nope.
I quite like, I think you mentioned a while back that she was vegetarian.
Yeah.
And she said, and she would still eat fish, and people would call her on that. And she said, there was oh, so why do you still eat fish if you're vegetarian? She just looked and went, because fish.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, I used to own pet fish. I quite like fish.
Oh, I like fish too, but I agree, fish.
No. Although, saying that...
Fish taste amazing, though. If they didn't want to be eaten, come on.
Saying that, though, the sushi places we go to, they actually do some really cool tempura fried vegetables. I've had their tempura vegetable specials before, and they're really good.
I agree.
It's not bad. I don't think it's bad drinking to record an episode, but I think I've had too much.
Yeah. Is your blood raining down from an angry sky? Oh, cock-a-doodle-doo.
So what else, where We're talking about movies because that's our thing. We're movie guys. We're meteor guys. Well, you're a meteor guy. I'm just a wannabe meteor guy. What else? What else captures the Halloween spirit really well?
I don't know. I like. It's really bumming people I know out because they don't really have much in the way of costume for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like that to them, which is fair enough, is the most important thing for it about Halloween, which is pretty cool. Myself, I just like the day. Like the atmosphere itself is so contagious. You don't feel it any other day of the year. I don't know what it is about it. Like, I could be doing absolutely nothing on Halloween and still love it. I don't know if you feel the same.
Well, I've said before, I think it's the most unique holiday we have in our culture.
Yeah.
And there's something just really special about it. And I sometimes wonder about people, because people quite often don't like to think about death or the darker things in life.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what they'd let you think. I mean, I don't like to think about dying all the time. But, I watch creepy documentaries. Go back to our Titanic. I'm fascinated by the history of that, but I'm also fascinated by the wreck.
Yeah.
And I'd be lying if I wouldn't say part of that is for some strange macabre reasons, like, a place where things has happened and, a tragedy and the decaying of something that was once grand. And I think there's a bit of, like, morbid curiosity in everyone when you get down to it. No matter how much people disagree, I mean, whether you're, strictly an atheist, well, no, whether you're strictly skeptical and you consider death just, complete termination of everything, or, if you're a believer in other things and you think of it as a transition or an afterlife, I think there is something in many people that they are drawn at least some way to the macabre, whether they admit it or not. And
it's just a morbid curiosity.
Yeah, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I do think there is that sort of dark interest in many people about, the beyond and the spooky and the uneasy. And again, like, Doctor Who in the old days in the 70s, a lot of children were interviewed back then, the whole hiding behind the sofa thing. They were asked, well, why do you like Doctor Who? And, they like to be frightened by some things, and they like to be thrilled, and it's the same reason people go see horror films.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Well, it's the thrill of seeing and doing something that you don't normally see or do, isn't it?
Yeah, and there honestly is something to it. I don't know if it's just because it's different from a lot of people's everyday lives, but there is some attraction to the holiday and to macabre and dark things like that.
Yeah.
And that's partly why I think it shouldn't be forgotten and it shouldn't be pushed aside. I think it's really important to recognize that part in yourself.
It should be embraced. It should be understood and not feared.
Again, it's part of our heritage, if nothing else. And, people go on about heritage and tradition every so often, and that's a major part, and it's been around longer than many of our other traditions.
Yeah.
There again, there's just something to the atmosphere about it, and it's like, even if you take the party mentality, it's that one time of the year you get to dress as something ghoulishly and act like a fool and
have fun.
Yeah, but have fun, but in a kind of darkly humorous manner. It's the one time of year that's really recognised,
Yeah.
There's no other time of year, well, at least in our culture, where you'd, have skeletons or witches or tombstones hanging on the wall, symbols of death usually, but have it in a celebratory manner.
Yeah, like, acknowledging that we die isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the cool things I really like about the Mexican Day of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
If I ever went to Mexico, I would have to go around that period of the festivals.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
I do kind of like that, and, I said our culture, and it is kind of a Western culture thing, because there are other cultures in the world that don't shy away from death.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, in India, in certain areas, and in Buddhism in certain areas as well, there's quite a lot of death iconography, and it's not because they're necessarily morbid, it's part of their philosophy to recognise the death and transmutation of life.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, because, okay, this is going to sound really fucking morbid, but one of the things that actually spurs me on to do things I like record these shows or anything artistic, is the knowledge that I might not be here.
Yeah, one day.
In the future, and thinking about mortality, and, we have we have people in our life that we lose, and quite often one of the recurring things is, wow, if only I had the chance to do certain things. And to me personally, thinking about death in that way, or thinking about morbid things in a way, supports life.
Yeah.
It encourages you to live and to recognize that, and to think everything as part of a whole is really a good thing, at least in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. Some people will spend their entire lives worried about what's going to happen when you die, and forget to actually live a life.
Yeah, or, you know, recognize something but live with it. And again, I kind of like Halloween. It's kind of at least in our culture, it's sort of turning that on its head. It's celebrating the dark and the spooky and the macabre, and that's what I really love about the holiday. And it kind of breaks my heart a little bit when people just don't like it.
Without any reason, though, as well.
Yeah.
I don't like this. Why? It's childish. It's not childish. It's actually very important.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it comes down to personal philosophy, but that's just mine, and it's part of the reason I really love this holiday.
No, same. I adore Halloween.
I mean, okay, audience, I don't want to get really preachy on you, but that's just my honest opinion, and you know it's my honest opinion because I've drunk an entire bottle of wine. So you're getting nothing but my honest opinion right now on the subject.
He's seeing spirits.
I'm seeing many things right now, and they're very blurry and dizzy.
Well, hopefully one day you'll be able to focus on me.
But yeah, you know, Halloween, it's one of those periods. If I'm not out, I'm going to be indoors. I'm going to watch horror movies. I'm going to watch Halloween special. I'm going to get myself in a funny mood, a childish mood even, as people say. But there's nothing wrong with just being childishly fun.
Yeah. Well, it's exactly the same as enjoying watching a bunch of guys kick a football around, really.
Yeah, do you know what? It's something you enjoy, indulge in it once in a while, and there's nothing wrong with Halloween at all. I don't know why some people have problems with it, but it's an awesome time. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, this has been a bit of an interesting episode of me.
A little bit.
Oh.
You're pretty hammered, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to lay off the Merlot a little bit in future, not completely. Hell, if we've got any regular listeners out there, they're probably wondering why I'm more emotionally, involved than usual. I'm not so monotone.
We should totally do a drunk show.
Oh, we should. We should.
No subject, it's just we are drunk. What shit comes out of our mouth.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Right, I think we're going to wrap up right about now.
Wiki.
Wiki. But, you know, from me anyway, if you like Halloween, that's awesome. If you don't, give it a chance. Just, you know, get involved in the spirit and even the silliness of the things and just have a good time and, you know, just feel the atmosphere of the season.
Just don't take life so seriously, man. That's the main thing.
Again, you know, don't take life too seriously because it'll all end someday.
It's fleeting. It's very fleeting.
Life is fleeting. Again, to quote one of our favourite folks, life is just a ride in an amusement park.
Yeah.
You know, don't take it too seriously because it is just a ride.
It's just a ride.
Yeah, who thought we'd end the Halloween show by quoting Bill Hicks?
I could have probably bet money on that.
Who I might have to watch now.
Yeah.
Because I'm drunk, and for some reason, whenever I'm drunk, I'm always in a Bill Hicks mood. Which is ironic because he was a recovering alcoholic.
Poor Hicks.
Do you have anything else to say to those fine folks out there?
No, just happy Halloween, and I hope you all enjoy it. Have a good one. And again, let us know what you do.
Okay, contact me on talkmonochrome1 at yahoo.com.
And you can contact me on hfm.matthew@live.com.
So whatever you guys are doing this October 21st, I just want to wish you all a happy Halloween and just make the most of it and have a great time.
And I would like to find out what you're doing on October 31st, because October 21st has already passed.
Did I just say 21st?
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to lay off the wine.
He's drunk. It's funny.
Oh, happy Halloween, folks.
Happy Halloween.
Good night.
Pleasant screams. Monochrome-1 was created using Audacity. Certain sound clips used have been obtained from the public domain found on archive.org. Visit archive.org for movies, television, audio, and text samples from the public domain. Matt Hutton can be found on The Asylum on Sunday evenings, 9 to 10 p.m. on skywaveradio.net. Go to skywaveradio.net to hear the new generation of internet radio. The Monochrome-1 archives can be found on monochrome-1.podomatic.com. Contact the show on talkmonochrome1@yahoo.com. All of us at Monochrome-1 would like to thank you all for listening. Good night.